From Sacred Heart University in Fairfield, Connecticut, this is The Pulse.
Hi, my name is Christian Carter.
And I'm Gabby Newtile. Thanks for joining us. This past weekend, with passion and defiance, students across the nation, from Washington, D.C. to Los Angeles, took their anguished cry to the street in protest against gun violence. After the horrific deaths of 17 in Parkland, Florida, the students said that they are done hiding and will stop at nothing to get politicians to change gun laws.
It was 5 years ago when America watched as the residents of Newtown, Connecticut were devastated by the shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School. On Saturday, a group of Newtown High School students took a trip down to Washington, D.C. to join the historic March for Our Lives rally. I met with the Newtown group in D.C. as they asserted their right to stand against gun violence.
Vote them out! Vote them out! Vote them out! Vote them out! Vote them out!
3 Connecticut students took center stage Saturday at the March for Our Lives rally in Washington, D.C. It was organized in response to last month's school shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, that killed 17 people.
We know your pain, we know what you are going through, and we are inspired by your fight for change.
Tommy Murray was in 6th grade on lockdown when a gunman killed 20 students and 6 educators at Sandy Hook Elementary School on December 14, 2012.
Since then, I have attended vigils, I have protested in front of the gun lobby in our town, I have sent letters to Congress, I traveled to D.C. to meet with Congress to beg them to do something to stop gun violence, but they did nothing. They didn't ban assault weapons or pass universal background check bills, and now the entire Parkland community is shattered, the way our town was after the massacre in my elementary school.
The students presented a banner from the Newtown community to Parkland.
And now I'd like to introduce a Newtown and Parkland demand for change. Newtown wants change. Parkland wants change. The world wants change. Give it to us now.
I was in D.C. covering the rally for WSHU Public Radio, the NPR station on campus. I got to interview some of the Newtown students after the march.
I think it was really so powerful because we finally have an even bigger voice than we did before. Before it was just Newtown and some other towns that have experienced something similar. But these Parkland kids, they really came through to us the day after it happened, and we finally had even more voices to speak to. So we really now even have a bigger coalition, and it really strengthens our powers and makes us feel even more loved.
I also spoke with teachers who travel from Connecticut to D.C. for the march.
I teach my kids and my students, be the change you want to see. And the horrific things that are happening in our world cannot continue to happen. Enough is enough. We're so proud of these young people. I encourage everybody to go out and vote. We can change the world.
And the Newtown students say they know changing the world is no easy task.
This is going to take time. It's not going to be something that's going to happen overnight, no matter how many people show up to the march, and that we need everyone who was fired up and passionate at the march today to keep going and keep using their voice and find any single way possible that they can to contribute to this movement.
The students are back in Connecticut this week and will meet to discuss what they'll do next. I'm Christian Carter for The Pulse Plus.
Wow. I mean, being there firsthand, what was it like for you?
Gabby, I only had one word to describe this: empowering. To see the commitment of these students was truly inspiring.
I could only imagine. Have you ever imagined your life as a fairy tale? Ever wondered what you're actually doing here on Earth? Well, one motivational speaker came to Sacred Heart University to share his answers with students and faculty. Natalie Chafari has a story.
On March 19th, the Sacred Heart community gathered in the Martyri Forum to listen to Simon Ninen's lecture, My Life is a Fairy Tale, and So is Yours. Simon is a motivational speaker. His lecture pertained to how you can motivate yourself through tales of stories instead of wallowing in self-pity.
Search for meaning in mythology and fairy tales, seemingly simple stories in books that you love and motivational stuff instead of sitting, drinking, sadness, and just depression. That's not good.
Simon is also the chairman and CEO of his own company, Wayside Technology Group. He says it was never about the money, but how you can guide and teach others to live their best life in the best way possible.
Once you are successful, what are you doing back for society? Leadership and being successful is not about you. It's about teaching the next generation, and as human beings, we're social beings. Life is more than just money, and I hope to be able to teach that to the next generation.
Simon does make it look easy, but he never had any kind of professional training to do what he does now with motivational speaking.
I never went to a public speaking class or anything like that. I just said, here I am. And people were like, ooh, you're just saying it like you really see it. And that's powerful.
And while he never did take a class on anything he teaches, he hopes that young people see the connection between real life and the stories fairy tales have.
There's a reason that Snow White cannot fit in the bed of the other dwarfs. You cannot lay in somebody else's bed. You are who you are. That's my whole message. Don't be fake. Be real.
Simon plans on continuing to speak to the young people as much as he can. He says it's never about the numbers, but the message.
I know I'm just one guy, but I believe in it. I read it, and I thought that's true, and I'm going to try it. Try my hardest. So maybe I'll reach 5 people, maybe 10, maybe 100. But 1 is enough for me.
In Fairfield, this is Natalie Chiafari reporting for The Pulse.
Coming up next, we'll learn about a prestigious scholarship and a special award that drives athletes to compete. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Pulse Plus. We've heard about the Fulbright Scholarship, but what is it exactly? Who gives it and who gets it? What defines it and what experiences are taken out of it? Here is Salam Kumsier with the details.
I'm a Fulbright scholar. Awesome! But I'm not the only one. 8,000 annual grants go to graduate students and researchers from the United States and over 160 other countries around the world. Students get to travel to other countries to exchange their culture and skills and get their education. They become eager to learn more, make new friends, do good deeds for others, and get new experiences.
To help with our Kids Corner. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
When you return to your communities as Fulbright alumni, you will continue to be part of this network of intellectual leaders, working to create spaces where opportunity, diversity, and innovation can flourish. We encourage you to share your experiences in the United States through teaching, writing, public speaking, mentoring of others.
The process of selecting and accepting students is very competitive and merit-based and takes more than a whole year to be completed. This is why Fulbright is considered one of the most prestigious scholarships in the world.
You could apply for a visa.
All of this started 72 years ago when Senator J. William Fulbright had a vision of making the world a place for understanding each other and appreciating the differences between people.
We in the United States
In this era of American diplomacy facing criticism by both allies and adversaries, Fulbright stands out for the great opportunity it offers international students.
By virtue of you coming to the U.S., you've enriched us.
Grantees choose to leave their old life, hoping to start a new one and get their advanced degree. 2 years spent in another country is definitely life-changing.
It is pretty wonderful experience. You get to spend 2 years at an American university, make new friends, new life, all of that. And the beauty of this experience comes down to meeting a lot of people from your region, the Middle East. And that really describes and puts it all together in a very wonderful picture that is going to last as a memory for life.
Being here and being able to reflect on my country and letting people in the US know the good parts about my country and taking out the good ideas from the US and trying to give them back to my country really make me very, very excited to go back and do something.
It was challenging, but totally worth it.
It was amazing, and I'll make sure and I'll come back to my place, Morocco. I'll inspire everyone I'll meet to be as courageous as Fulbright has made me.
My Fulbright experience has been the best 2 years of my life, and I truly cannot find a word to express how I feel, and this is truly a life-changing experience.
Was hosted in family homes and holidays. Amazing experience. Like, it gives me goosebumps every time I talk about it. Now I moved to Cleveland, Ohio. I got to experience the snow for the first time in my life, being a Mediterranean and African from Tunisia. And these are things I did not really think of before coming to here. I was thinking about my master's, the major I want to do, and like my professional career, and I grew a lot professionally, that's for sure, but then these small pleasures of life.
J. William Fulbright once said, "The rapprochement of people is only possible when differences of culture and outlook are respected and appreciated rather than feared and condemned." It is up to these young Fulbrighters to continue to be the ambassadors of his words. This is Salam Komsiya for The Pulse.
For the second year, Student Athlete Academic Support Services is bringing back the Pioneer Cup. Competition for the Cup is held among all of Sacred Heart's Division I teams. At the end of the year, the squad with the highest number of points wins, representing their success and dedication to academics, community service, and support of all Sacred Heart teams. Graduate students Imani Alston and I asked student athletes on campus what the Pioneer Cup means to them.
What do you play for?
My name is Robert Strain, and I play for Sacred Heart Men's Soccer.
What is the Pioneer Cup, and how do you feel about it?
I don't know what the Pioneer Cup is.
What team do you play for?
My name's Elizabeth, and I'm on the track and field team.
What does the Pioneer Cup mean to you?
The Pioneer Cup means giving back to the community and showing the other teams how much we support each other.
So what sport do you play for on the team?
My name's Madison, and I play field hockey. My name's Liz, and I play field hockey.
Nice. So how do you guys feel about the Pioneer Cup, and do you think you're going to win this year?
Yeah, we're going to win. It's super competitive, and it's a way to get all the student athletes involved, and we're definitely going to win. Hell yeah, we're going to win.
Dan Marchelitis, fencing.
And what do you think about the Pioneer Cup?
I think it's great. It gets athletes out there to support other athletes.
What's your name and what team do you play for?
Tiffany Brisbane, I play for rugby.
So why do you think that rugby's going to win the Pioneer Cup this year?
Got the biggest heart, that's it.
I'm Gerard Daly, I'm on the wrestling team.
I'm Sean Williams, and I'm on the wrestling team.
Do you guys think that you can win the Pioneer Cup this year?
I think we're about to make moves tomorrow to really get some good points. We're in the hunt. We'll see if we can get that #1 spot.
I think it's a great way to get back to the community. I mean, tomorrow, like you said, we're going to be out for 5 hours giving back to community, so I think that'll be really good for us in order to win it.
What's your name?
Fallon Bovino and softball.
Do you guys think you can win the Pioneer Cup this year?
Oh, I know we're going to win the Pioneer Cup. In bowling, we're coming for you, baby. Softball's coming for you.
So, Gabby, the answers were very genuine, but what does the competition look like this year?
Honestly, bowling won it last year, and I think they may win it again. But men's lacrosse is coming behind, so we'll find out at the end of April.
We'll see.
After the break, we'll learn about a department on campus that puts the tech in technology. And we'll take a sneak peek at the hard work students are putting in for this year's spring musical. Stay with us. Welcome back to Pulse Plus. There are over 300 spaces with technology at Sacred Heart University, and the small campus audiovisual team is responsible for it all. Not only does AV support classrooms, but they are heavily involved with the construction of new buildings, making sure that the latest technology is available to students, staff, and faculty. Here's Kristen Moore with the report.
Audiovisual, I mean, it's a very broad industry. You can consider, even doing videos and editing videos and taking pictures as audiovisual. In our world, in Sacred Heart world, audiovisual is classroom technology, basically any sort of technology that helps enhance the learning experience.
We cover about 300 plus, probably almost 400 spaces for technology. With classrooms and event spaces. Anything that's technology in the classroom, we basically cover and we have installed into the classrooms here on campus.
We have a relatively small team compared to most other universities. We have 3 full-timers, 3 GAs, and a whole bunch of student workers that we share with our sister department, which is academic computing.
While the department is ready for any classroom incidents, they are also working on outside projects.
Since I've been here, we worked on Business and Communications Martiri Center. We worked on all the technology for all the classrooms and the theater spaces in that building. So we were involved in the design process all the way to the end process, as well as now we support the building as far as the classrooms go, the event spaces go, and all the other little areas like conferencing spaces and group rooms.
I have one that I recently completed at the Pitt Center where we had to install 5 televisions and connect them through Cat5 to HDMI to the rack, which is going to produce Apple TV for the workouts in the morning and whatnot. Upcoming projects that we're having, summertime we're going to get a lot of our work done because it's when it's not as much traffic here on campus with the students. So we'll be doing 16 full classroom refreshes. So basically like going through, see what needs to get updated and whatnot. Also, we have different event spaces that we're trying to update so that it's ready and we have the most recent technology going on for the upcoming school year.
We're certainly one of the bigger, or one of the smaller teams that are growing, just because it's just a reactionary thing for us to happen because the university is growing. So the West Campus we recently purchased. We have pretty much, we're doing floor by floor. We're going to be upgrading all of those floors and turning them into classrooms and whatnot.
AV is important with the growth of Sacred Heart. Seeing that it has expanded so far since my years as an undergrad student here, the amount of work that AV covers is, you know, like I said, there's almost probably about 400 spaces that we take care of. And by us staying on top of things, we can continue to grow and expand the amount of students that can come into the school and that's being well educated.
We provide a very unique service to the university, and part of our job is to keep the university up to date as far as technology goes, so that we're kind of in the leading edge of technology in terms of our competitive schools.
Reporting from Fairfield, Connecticut, this is Kristen Moore for the Pulse Plus.
The Shute Theater Arts Department is getting ready to open their spring musical, In the Heights. Joel Schrock spent time with the cast and crew, bringing us a behind-the-scenes look at the production.
Every spring, Sacred Heart University's Theater Arts program puts on a musical production, and this year's performance of In the Heights is no exception. In the Heights tells the story of a local community in Washington Heights, a tight-knit neighborhood in the borough of Manhattan, and follows the lives of its residents as they face their struggles and pursue their dreams. The production ran on Broadway from 2008 to 2011 and has won Tony Awards for Best Musical, Score, Choreography, and Orchestrations. It was also the first major work written by Lin-Manuel Miranda, best known for the smash Broadway hit Hamilton. The SHU students make up nearly the entire production between the cast and crew. These students take on the acting and dancing roles, as well as the behind-the-scenes roles of stage manager, assistant stage manager, and producer, to name a few. Members of the SHU staff also work around the clock to build the stage setting from the ground up, making this spring's production a true team effort. SHU sophomore Justin Weigel is one of two producers working around the clock and behind the scenes.
What we are responsible for is handling the budget, overseeing all the departments, the costume designer, the props designer, the projections designer, everything, and then as well as overseeing the cast and the crew and really the entire progress of the show. I mean, we were there from auditions and won't be there until the curtain closes, so it's an intensive job.
In the weeks leading up to the opening night, the actors have been spending countless hours rehearsing to perfect their lines and timings for when it comes time for the live performances. Under the guidance and direction of experienced professionals, they are led through vocal, staging, and dancing rehearsals.
Future mayor of the West New York. So I want you to kind of cross that.
SHU junior Mike Villanova plays the lead role of Usnavi.
The thing I'm looking forward to most about playing Usnavi, I think really is the fact that I get to just let loose on stage a lot of the time, but also I get to tone it back and be serious too. So I get to play both ends of the spectrum, which I think is a really fun thing to do.
It'll go. Now go around, and what's the next line? Okay, so you already come by then. So I think what we're going to do is...
I think fellow students should see In the Heights, mainly because it's a lot of music that they'd actually be into. Unlike most musicals where it's very like showy, very Broadway sort of stuff, this tones it back a lot. It's very hip-hop and rap-centric. So a lot of people will either maybe come and actually like the music, maybe listen to it on their own, or just be able to appreciate it because they can relate to it in some way.
music's incredible, the story's incredible. Besides that, there's a real strong message there about family and community and coming together and unifying, and I think that's something that we as people need right now. And it's such a fun show, and you're going to leave there, you know, tapping your feet, and the tune's going to be stuck in your head, and you're going to feel good after leaving the show. So definitely come and see it.
In the Heights will fill the seats at the Edgerton Performing Arts Center on Sacred Heart's main campus from April 12th through 14th at 8 o'clock p.m. and again on April 15th at 3 p.m. Ticket prices range from $10 for students to $22 for the general public.
Please come see In the Heights. It's going to be a great time. The dancing, the singing, you're going to leave wanting to see it again. And I promise you, tickets are already selling really fast. So see what it's like to live a night in Washington Heights, April 12th through 15th.
For more information, visit shutheaterarts.org. I'm Joelle Schrock with the Pulse Plus.
You know, Christian, the theater arts department always does such a great job here. Are you planning on going?
Of course, my best friend, she's in the crew. I have to support her.
Well, we should go together.
Totally. We're going to have a great time.
That's all the news for now. I'm Gabby Newtile.
And I'm Christian Carter. We'll see you next time on the Pulse Plus.